So today we're going to be going over the Harbor Freight Airbrush and Compressor Kit. I got this for $80 with the compressor and the airbrush. That's what you get. It's the box, obviously. So let's go over the components of the kit. Start with the air compressor. This is the compressor. Got a nice little carry handle, on-off switch. As you can see here, it's not very loud at all. Got a pressure, got a moisture trap and a pressure gauge, but more on that in a minute. It's the compressor. Got a 5-foot fabric covered hose, and you get the airbrush itself. Let's talk about the airbrush. This is not a cheap plastic single action like you would get in a $10 or $20 tester's block kit. This is actually a dual action internal mix airbrush. I don't know about the quality of the components, obviously, because this is my first ever real airbrush, so I can't really have anything to compare it to, but we'll see how it does over time. Basically, I blew the $80 on the kits to evaluate it, so you don't have to risk the cash. So, it's a pretty standard dual action. It's a siphon feed internal mix. It comes with this cup, which is detachable, which I really like, and it also comes with this big jar, so you can use it both ways. It comes with a tool to pull off the nozzles, and it comes with this little hanging. It's supposed to be a hanger. It's supposed to screw it down to something, and you can hang the airbrush on it, but it doesn't really like that. It doesn't work that well with the hose on it, I found out. So that's why it's still in the box. And it comes with this adapter here, which is, I assume, so you can put this on the air compressor and use a different airbrush that doesn't have a compatible fitting. I'm not sure on that though. There's a cap. It's called the Deluxe Airbrush Kit. Let's see what it says here. Nozzle size 0.35 millimeter, which is actually pretty small. So that's not a bad nozzle size from what I can tell. So let's see what happened. So what happened when I first opened it up is I put it all together, but it wouldn't, and I put some water in the cup, but it wouldn't do anything. It wouldn't spray any water. So I just spent some time reading, watching videos online on how to adjust the needle to get it to atomize the water. And that's pretty much all I've done with it so far, is just put some water through it to experiment with. And but unfortunately, the instructions you get, which is this little pamphlet right here, is pretty much useless. It gives you some basic instructions on how to press the button, and everything else is safety warnings. Seriously. Let's see. See, safety warnings, safety warnings, safety warnings, safety warnings. See, one page of how to put it together and how to use it. Okay, page and a half of how to put it together and how to use it. And then you have troubleshooting, and then you have breakdowns. And that's it. I mean, these instructions are basically useless. So if this is your first airbrush kit, you've never seen an airbrush used, this is absolutely junk. The only reason I was halfway familiar with what was going on because I watched a bunch of videos on YouTube about airbrushing and read some stuff online. So otherwise I would have been completely lost in how to get this thing to work. I'd been pissed. So if you do pick something up and you're not familiar with airbrushes, go watch some YouTube videos. Just put in airbrush in the YouTube search, and there's so much out there. Then after I got that figured out, my next step was to figure out how to pull it apart and put it back together. So I did that. I figured that out pretty much on my own, but I'm mechanically inclined so that really wasn't that big a deal. The hardest part putting it back together was the piece of metal that the trigger pushes, getting that in the right spot. But other than that, it was really, really simple to pull together and put back together. pull apart and put back together. So that's what you get for $80. I'm definitely impressed with the quality of the airbrush so far. That is, the fact that it's not a cheap plastic thing like Testors puts out, but it is a quote-unquote real airbrush. We'll find out how real it is over time, because I'm going to start using it here very soon. I have not put any paint through it yet, but I will soon, and you will be there to watch me do it. So as I said, if this turns out to be a useful kit for $80, then great, but we won't know yet. So I'm risking my $80 so you don't have to. So that way, even the compressor is worth $80 by itself as far as I'm concerned. So even if the airbrush turns out to be complete crap, I don't think I've lost any money. And so that'll do it. I'll put some paint through this thing here very soon, and we'll see what it does, how it works, and I'll talk to you later.